Well, it looks like the Eagles are staying aggressive. They go into the backup quarterback position. And finally, after all these years, 8 years, Marcus Mariota is finally a Philadelphia Eagle.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? So I felt like it was like 2015 when we had Chip Kelly and he was, using Fletcher Cox and a bunch of picks in that draft to move up and get Marcus Mariota in that draft. And 8 years later, Marcus Mariota is now a Philadelphia Eagle at a one-year deal, $5 million, incentives up to $8 million, which really isn't that bad. I actually thought that he might have been expensive. I've been saying his name for the past month and a half that Marcus Mariota could be a good option for the Philadelphia Eagles, and here he is as of right now. You only had Ian Book back there. Gardner Minshew signed that $3.5 million contract with the Colts, which, that's a little bit of a, I figured that was a hefty price for a guy that's just going to sit all year. But for $5 million, Marcus Mariota, the same-ish type of skill set that Jalen Hurts has for the read option and all that great stuff. I can't believe Marcus Mariota is actually an Eagle. It's really weird. You get the deja vu and, all that stuff. But this is actually for the value that you did get. And remember, we've had backup quarterbacks in the past that were pretty expensive. The Eagles used to pay a lot of money for. And for Marcus Mariota coming to the Eagles, I think this is great. I mean, look, he tried getting his new stint as a quarterback in Atlanta and try to do things over there. And, it's probably going to be nothing more than a backup in his career now. And, that's pretty much it. You look at the quarterbacks that are around the league, and some get good value for backups, some don't. But having a guy like this going to this year, how the Eagles take a lot of value into these backup quarterbacks, and they didn't want to. I guess they didn't feel comfortable putting Ian Book back there. God forbid, knock on wood, Jalen Hurts has to be out a game or two. And what makes this whole thing better, remember what happened last year with Minshew? We were trying to get the number one seed after Hurts got, he hurt his shoulder in that Bears game, and they literally threw Minshew into a Jalen Hurts system, and teams aren't going to respect Gardner Minshew's legs. They're not going to respect any of that. All they did really was get pressure on Minshew, hone in on Miles Sanders, and keep him pressured on, and being disruptive in the backfield. There's nothing that's going to make your offense dangerous, or what makes defenses think your offense is dangerous when your quarterback, when obviously the defense knows that your quarterback's not mobile. But now having two mobile quarterbacks, this is a big deal to where now Brian Johnson really doesn't have to change much with the offensive game plan if Marcus Mariota has to come in for a game or two, whatever the case may be. I think this is a very big quality player that you can get for $5 million for the year, $8 million in incentives if he reaches those incentives, which he probably won't because Hurts will most likely stay healthy. Like I said, knock on wood about anything. But like I said, this is a good one here. This is good. I mean, I never expected them. I didn't really know what they were going to do at the backup quarterback position. I figured they were going to get that Dorian Thompson from UCLA and with one of our 7th round picks or something and kind of just move him along with Hurts and let Hurts kind of guide him a little bit and learn under him for a few years. I understand that if you drafted a guy in the 7th round, he wouldn't be as good because he's not in the league. And obviously, a late pick like that, they're not great quarterbacks, but somebody you could see what you could kind of turn them into. But I guess, instead of having a quarterback in here for 4 years, for 4 years, you can get a guy like Marcus Mariota for the year. And it really is telling me right now that, obviously not really telling me as of right now, but, the Eagles want to compete. The Eagles are definitely going to load up and make sure every position is filled up. I mean, and the backup quarterback position obviously is one of the most important positions that the Eagles take a lot of value in, and getting Marcus Mariota for $5 million for the year year, it's really not a bad price. Like I said, Minshew's getting like 3.5 with the Colts right now, and Mariota is, he's got, he's been in the league for a while, and he's been a starter, he's been a backup, he's gotten some injuries over his career, and it is what it is, man. Marcus Mariota, a Philadelphia Eagle, finally, after all these years, 8 years later. And it's kind of crazy, like getting the deja vu, getting a little bit of the, treatment of, Chip Kelly trying to trade up for this guy. That's all I really think about when I think of Marcus Mariota. I think of Chip Kelly. That's what I think about. So, I want to know from you guys what you think about this. I know I was saying this guy's name for the past month, but I figured he was going to be really, too expensive. I thought, I'm not saying he's like the best quality backup you could get, but I got to say, like, in a really good scheme, and Mariota would fit the scheme very well. Almost having the same skill set as Jalen Hurts and having mobile, and being mobile as well. Marcus Mariota might look pretty good in this offense with the weapons that it has. God forbid Hurts needs to be out a game or something like that, but to see Mariota, see how he can make it, even for OTAs and joint practices and all that stuff, I'm actually pretty excited to see Mariota and what the Eagles, what the Eagles will do with him and how they use him, and it should be a lot of fun to watch, guys. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. So, it is 2:15 in the morning. This news came out like 40 minutes ago, so 40 minutes ago. Howie Roseman is working around the clock right now. Obviously freed up the cap space for Slay. That was the $13 million, and they haven't restructured Lane Johnson yet. So I don't know what other moves they're going to do as of right now, but I kind of want to make this video of its own since it came out really late, and I really don't have it. I could have talked about maybe a couple other things, but I'll wait until tomorrow to do that. But to let you guys know on the breaking news for the Philadelphia Eagles that Marcus Mariota is a Philadelphia Eagle, is going to be the backup for only 1 year for $5 million. And I think it's pretty good value. I think it's a good price. I think Howie got him for a pretty good penny. You know what I mean? Because you never know, what happens, during the year. And Mariota has a lot of experience. You're not taking a guy that's been on practice squad to the active roster. You're not taking a guy that's been sitting behind quarterbacks that never started in an NFL game before. You're getting mostly a lot of different things with Mariota when it comes to being a backup, being a starter, being a top pick in the NFL that just didn't work out, and obviously injuries kind of hindered him over the years. And teams have took chances. Atlanta took a chance on him last year, to see that maybe he could be the guy. The Raiders, I think it was the Raiders. Obviously he was with the Titans. So he's been to a few teams, and like I said, he's got a lot of familiarity with the game, and obviously how Brian Johnson uses Marcus Mariota is going to be interesting. I'm actually this is actually pretty exciting, to be honest. I know it's a backup quarterback that nobody should be excited about it because he'll never start a game. Hopefully not. But it's nice that the Eagles are, they're really loading up on some guys coming here, and the backup quarterback position being one of the most important positions, because I obviously forgot about the backup quarterback position for a while because I totally forgot Minshew wasn't here, and I know Ian Book was here, and that was pretty much it. So did they want to go and just get some guy from the draft, an undrafted guy, and throw him as a backup for the year? No, I think they want to make promise that if you got one guy and you're starting quarterback that's going to be working for the scheme, and that's your franchise player, your backup is going to do well. And being of the same skill set is a huge advantage. Like I said, don't have to change the scheme too much with what you're doing with a player like this. So I think it's a very good signing. I think I honestly, like I said before, I thought he was going to be a lot more expensive. I'm not saying too much. I thought he was going to cost like maybe $9 million. I thought it was going to be like right before 10. I thought he was going to hit like before the $10 million mark for the year for his services. But for $5 million, it's really not bad. I think it's good money well spent into that position. Who knows? Down the line, we might be, man, thank God we got him for, if he has to take over for a game or something like that, I think it'll be really good. So that is the breaking news from the Philadelphia Eagles. Marcus Mariota, 8 years later, where we thought that, when Chip Kelly was here, he was going to be the starting quarterback for this team at one point, and he's finally in the Eagles green now, so it is what it is, and ready to go, and that's your backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me know what you guys think about this. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like probably surprised. Some of you are going to be asleep, some of you are going to wake up and be like, whoa, what happened? Howie Roseman has been literally working the phones, and if this happened this late at night, I mean, it's just crazy. The Howie is just still doing it. So, all right, I don't want to make this any longer than what it is. But like I said, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Like the video if you guys haven't. Much appreciated from all the support. And that's your breaking news for the night. Didn't expect this to happen. So, I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.